Hello, and welcome to today's video. On the 29th of May, the Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, announced more details about the extension to the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme, CGRS, and has introduced flexible furloughing. From the 1st of July 2020, you'll have the flexibility to bring previously furloughed employees back to work part-time, with the government continuing to pay 80% of wages for any of their normal hours they do not work until the end of August. Furthermore, you can decide the hours and the shift patterns that your employees will work on return, and you will be responsible for paying their wages in full while working. This means that employees can work as much or as little as your business needs, with no minimum time that you can furlough staff for. Any working hours arrangement that you agree with your employees must cover at least 1 week and be confirmed to the employee in writing. When claiming CJRS grant for furloughed hours, you need to report and claim for a minimum period of a week. You can choose to make claims for longer periods, such as on a monthly or 2-week cycles if you prefer. You will be required to submit data on the usual hours an employee would be expected to work in a claim period and the actual hours worked. If your employees are unable to return to work or you do not have work for them, you can remain on furlough and continue to claim the grant for their full hours under existing rules. From August, the government are going to slowly stop or really limit the grant they provide through the job retention scheme they have. In June and July, the government will pay 80% of wages up to a cap of $2,500, as well as employer national insurance and pension contributions for the hours the employee doesn't work. However, employers will have to pay employees for the hours they work. In August, the government will continue to pay 80% of wages up to a cap of $2,500, but employers will pay national insurance and pension contributions. For the average claim, this represents 5% of the gross employment costs that they would have incurred if the employee had not been furloughed. In September, the government will pay 70% of wages up to a cap of $2,187.50 for the hours the employee does not work. Employers will pay national insurance and pension contributions and 10% of wages to make up the 80% total up to a cap of $2,500. In October, the government will pay 60% of wages up to a cap of $1,875 for the hours the employee does not work. However, employers will pay national insurance and pension contributions and 20% of wages that make up the 80% of the total cap to a cap of $2,500. The cap on the furlough grant will be proportional to the hours not worked. If you are a smaller employer, some or all of your employer national insurance bills will be covered by the employment allowance. So, you should not be significantly impacted by that part of the tapering of the government contribution. Around a quarter of CGRS monthly claims relate to wages that are below the threshold where employee national insurance and auto-enrollment contributions are due, and so no employer contributions will be required for the employees who were furloughed in August. The scheme will close to new entrants from the 30th of June. From this point onwards, you will only be able to furlough employees that you have furloughed for a full 3-week period prior to 30th of June. This means that the final date you can furlough an employee for the first time will be the 10th of June for the current 3-week furlough period to be completed by 30th of June. Employers will have until the 31st of July to make any claims in respect to the period to 30 June. Further support for employers and agents on how to calculate claims with the extra flexibility will be available by the 12th of June. These include webinars and detailed online guidances. For information about how to claim, go on to gov.uk and search up Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme. Please do not call us for more information. Everything that you need to know about this scheme will be published online on gov.uk. Stay vigilant about scams, which may mimic government messages as a way of appealing authentic and unthreatening. Search scams on gov.uk for information on how to recognize genuine HMRC contracts. contact. You can also forward suspicious emails claiming to be the HMRC to phishing@hmrc.gov.uk and text to 6599. That's text to 6599. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day. And stay safe.